Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLESFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. I have to say, the Philadelphia Eagles are at a really interesting crossroads right now. Despite the loss to the Denver Broncos, which ended in a narrow 21-17 defeat, there's a lot to unpack. Sure, fans are feeling disappointed, especially considering how close the game was. But if you look deeper into what happened on the field, you'll see that the Eagles are still very much in the thick of things, still holding a strong position in the NFC. The season's far from over, and this game, though painful, highlighted some key moments that could define the Eagles' future. Let's start with that final drive, that moment that had every Eagles fan on edge. Jalen Hurts, who's been nothing short of spectacular this season, especially with his arm and his ability to extend plays, was looking for a game-changing deep shot to A.J. Brown. Now, this was a crucial moment, there's no denying it. The Eagles were trailing by 4 points, with just minutes left on the clock, and this pass could have turned everything around. But what happened? It looked initially like a misfire and overthrow. The ball sailed over Brown's head, and in that instant, the hope of sealing the game slipped away. That's the kind of moment that makes fans replay it in their heads, questioning what could have been done differently. When you analyze the replay, you see A.J. Brown making a couple of sharp moves on the Broncos' defense, trying to shake his coverage, trying to get open. But in that split second, it seems like he slowed down, perhaps unsure if Hurts was going to throw it. That hesitation is what led to the miscommunication. It's clear that Brown wasn't fully prepared for the throw when Hurts let it go. Some fans might think, was this a lack of chemistry, a missed connection? But really, it's a microcosm of the season, moments where execution and timing need to be perfectly aligned, and sometimes they just aren't. And this is where the media frenzy begins. Naturally, everyone wants to know what went wrong. The questions are flying about whether this was a simple miscommunication or something more serious, like a breakdown in the connection between Hurts and Brown. And in typical fashion, the answers from both players were a bit different, which only fuels the debate. Brown was the first to speak after the game, sitting at his locker, and he kept it straightforward. He said, "From my point of view, it was just missed. I didn't think the ball was coming. When I looked up, I didn't see the ball. When I looked back, I still didn't see the ball. And then it was thrown." Now, folks, you have to understand that this kind of answer can be interpreted in multiple ways. Some might see it as Brown throwing a little shade at Hurts, implying he wasn't expecting the pass or that he was caught off guard. Others might see it as just honest frustration, an acknowledgement of a missed opportunity. Either way, it adds fuel to the fire about what's happening behind the scenes in Philadelphia's locker room. Hurts, on the other hand, took a different route. During his post-game press conference, he was much more measured. He said, "Yeah, I'd really have to watch the film to be able to assess that. Obviously, that's when you want to be able to hit in a big moment in a game." You can tell he's giving himself the room to analyze the play without throwing anyone under the bus. Hurts has been a leader all season, and his responses reflect that maturity. He recognizes the importance of film study, of understanding what went wrong, but also keeps the focus on improving rather than pointing fingers. That's the kind of leadership the Eagles need right now, especially after a tough loss like this. What's interesting here is that despite the mishap, Jalen Hurts still threw for a season-high 280 yards and scored 2 touchdowns. That's a testament to his resilience and talent. And A.J. Brown, with 5 receptions for 43 yards, was still a significant part of the offense. But the struggles with the deep ball weren't just about this one play. Hurts attempted 9 passes of over 20 yards in the air, but only connected on 2 of them. That's the second most deep passes of his career, yet the completion percentage is worrying, especially when you consider the importance of downfield threats in today's NFL. Devonta Smith, another key piece in the Eagles' offense, didn't hold back when talking about the team's struggles. After the game, he admitted that everyone needs to be on the same page. That's a huge point. It's not just about individual talent, it's about timing, chemistry, and trust. When you see a quarterback overthrow targets and miss receivers, it can be frustrating to fans, but it's also a sign that perhaps the team is still working out its rhythm. And in a league where every game counts, these miscommunications can be costly, as we saw in this narrow defeat. Now, this game has only added more headline material for the Eagles, who were already under the spotlight last week. But let's keep things in perspective. The season is a marathon, not a sprint. The Eagles are still among the top contenders in the NFC, and if they can tighten up their execution, especially in those critical moments, they'll be right back in the thick of things. The upcoming game against the New York Giants is pivotal. A win there would not only boost morale, but also help quiet some of the noise surrounding their recent struggles. It's a chance to bounce back, refocus, and show that they're still a team to be feared. And let's talk about the bigger picture for a moment. The NFC East is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions in recent memory. The Eagles, under head coach Nick Sirianni, have built a team that's versatile, resilient, and hungry for success. They've got a solid core of talent led by Hurts, who's been developing into one of the league's most electrifying quarterbacks. His ability to run and throw effectively makes him a dual threat, and he's been critical in the Eagles' offensive scheme. Brown and Smith give Hurts some of the most dynamic receiving options in the league, capable of making big plays down the field or in clutch moments. This season has also been about growth. The Eagles have shown that they can come back from adversity, and even in setbacks like this game, they learn and adapt. The coaching staff is constantly emphasizing the importance of details, of perfecting those small nuances that can change the outcome of a game. Whether it's route running, timing, or decision-making under pressure, the Eagles are aware that these are the areas that will determine their success in the playoffs. Looking ahead, the team's schedule isn't getting any easier, but that's what makes the NFL so exciting. Every week presents a new challenge, and for the Eagles, it's about how they respond. The Giants will be eager to prove themselves after their recent struggles, and the Eagles will be looking to restore their confidence and refine their execution. The coaching staff is already analyzing tape, identifying areas for improvement, and preparing the team for a strong rebound. In terms of players, Hurts remains a beacon of hope. His leadership, work ethic, and ability to perform under pressure are what keep the Eagles competitive. The fact that he's throwing for over 280 yards per game and adding multiple touchdowns shows that he's evolving as a passer, even if there are hiccups now and then. Brown's role as a big play receiver is crucial, especially when the game is on the line. Fans love watching him make those contested catches, but this recent miscommunication reminds us that even the best players need to stay sharp and in sync with their quarterback. The Eagles' defense, too, has been relatively solid, but they'll need to tighten up as well, especially in closing out games. The game against the Broncos showed that in the final moments, the team needs to be more disciplined to prevent those last-minute drives that can turn a win into a loss. That's part of the growth process, and the coaching staff is well aware of these details. Overall, the season has been a roller coaster, with highs that excite fans and lows that test their patience. But one thing is certain: the Philadelphia Eagles are a team that refuses to give up. They've built a culture of resilience, of fighting through adversity, and that's what makes this team special. Every game, every play, every decision on the field counts, and these moments of struggle are what will ultimately define their journey toward another Super Bowl appearance. So, Eagles fans, despite the recent setback, keep the faith. The season is still very much alive, and this team has the talent, the leadership, and the drive to bounce back stronger than ever. The upcoming games will be crucial, especially that showdown with the Giants. It's do or die in some ways, and I believe they'll come out ready to prove that they're still top contenders. The NFC is wide open, and the Eagles have all the pieces to make a deep playoff run if they can just iron out these miscommunications and sharpen their execution under pressure. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Hurts and Brown will find their rhythm again? Are you confident that this team can overcome these hurdles and still make a serious run? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. This team isn't done yet, and neither are we. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for the Birds. Keep the faith, Eagles Nation.